Alright, in this video, I was actually supposed to be doing a uh, a tier list on Polluted Wastelands enemies based on how difficult they are and how cool they are, based on one being stat wise, one being uh crap. What do you call that? Uh, yeah, yeah. Just never mind. I'll just get straight to the point. So, uh, mutated. I'm gonna say that they look kind of blunt in terms of cosmetics. Yeah, that's the word I finally found it. But it doesn't really look that basic due to the effects, the some actual color changes, like you can see the leg, like in the torso there's some differences, and then the veins. Also, one detail I like about this, or at the income enemies, or the early ones rather, is that when they take damage or when you have high graphics, they're pretty visible, the veins. So yeah, all overall this is kind of like a normal but evolved, I guess. I don't know. Now, for mutated speedy, that kind of light would have been better if it looked like a quick, like if it had crystals or something, and yeah. But either way, you can see the veins even more. Stat wise, this is kind. I mean, it's not really that difficult, but maybe if you don't have the correct defenses, yeah, it's kind of difficult. If I'm gonna be honest, but yeah, you can see the veins even more. And if you do not see what I mean, these are blue things. Yeah, that's what I that's what I mean. So yeah, that's interesting, I guess. Hazmats. I mean, these can get really annoying if you're not careful. I kind of like the design, but not really because it's black and white. Yeah, you can see the green effects, but if you look behind the zombie's back and you look at the head, then you're gonna see its skin is green. So yeah. Now for mutated boss, I would say this is not even that menacing because at the time that that you reach this wave, you kind of have good towers ready despite being wave 10, and the track is kind of long. So even if this thing has 500 HP in only wave 10, more health than a literal wave 7 boss, or normal boss or whatever, it just, I don't know, it's just not that menacing. The design, it's kind of okay, not really the best. You can see the veins, the body structure is kind of different, so it's not just so it's not just like a normal or abnormal boss that just looks, it has some actual difference to it. So yeah, again, other color schemes kind of like it, but at the same time not really though. Shadow, I know Wiki of Colors hasn't updated it for no reason at all, but I know this is not what it looks like. I mean, stat wise, it's kind of easy, but the design looks kind of cool. If I'm gonna be honest, you can see the veins because it's kind of dark, but at the same time, it has that like neon vibe to it. So yeah, or Necromancer, or is that what this thing is called? I mean, not really the best design, but if I'm gonna be honest, it looks cool at the same time. The spawn's not really that. I mean, it's unique, but it's not really that menacing either. The chain, it's actually 3D, and something that Very Chalk did by himself. The staff kind of reminds me of that game, that PS4 game. I kind of forgot what it's called. The staff looks kind of cool, and then the head, yeah, looks kind of cool as well. But yeah, bones. Wait, is it? I think is this, wait, this is skeleton, I guess. Or is it bones or skeleton? Whatever. I mean, I kind of like the simplicity, but at the same time, like the details to this thing. It's kind of crazy though. So yeah, not that menacing, but looks cool, I guess. Toxic. It doesn't really look that cool, but if you're on high graphics or if you're just or if you're just watching closely, when it takes a damage, you can see the veins. I think it turns into black every time it takes damage or something. And yeah, I mean, it doesn't really look that cool, but like, stat wise, it's pretty menacing because of the fact that when it dies, it's literally able to heal enemies thanks to its acid pool or something or whatever that's called, gas. It's not really liquid though, so yeah. Uh, Amalgamation. This thing, I mean, it's really like it's on the top. I mean, in the most like menacing of my tier. yeah, it goes on top, and yeah, not because of the fact that other people die to this thing. I mean, if you're careful or not, uh, this thing can actually kill you. So yeah, I mean, I don't really die to this thing that much. I mean, if I have crappy teammates, then yeah, I do die to this thing. Thanks to their totally not bad defense. But even if I'm able to kill this thing, it's actually a challenge. That I mean, it has more HP than a literal. Wait, what's the name of that? Uh, a giant boss. Yeah, it has more HP than the thing. I mean, with or without the defense. I mean, later on it will get a shield health. So what's the difference? Yeah. The only. I mean, stat wise though, it looks kind of creepy. I guess. Looks kind of cool. It looks better than the old amalgamation. But the thing that makes this thing menacing besides its HP is fleshlings. I mean, just from the name itself, this is like one of the reasons why people type in Polluted Wastelands. It's mainly because of this thing right here. So, yeah. Uh, I mean, it would be nice if it got like exposed ribcage or something, but yeah. A shadow boss, it just goes straight to disappointing. Yeah. It's really menacing because your rangers cannot shoot this thing, but it doesn't really matter because majority of your towers that you're gonna be using has hidden detection. And even though there's some towers that don't have hidden detection, like Commander, I mean, it's still useful anyways. It'd be nice if this thing was buffed, even though it didn't have a change, or maybe if it had a change, it would be cool. But what I mean by that is, what if this thing was a ghost? Or wait, actually, I have an idea. What if the shadow, alright, or like the thing you saw a while ago was a ghost? But the shadow boss, if it dies, it's able to, not only is it a ghost, it's able to give ghost, not ghost detection. It's like Ace Punk when it's able to give hidden detection. I mean, for shadow boss, if it dies, it's able to give all enemies in its radius like they become hidden, or more specifically ghost, so that how do you say this, so that your railgun tanks are pretty useless. I mean, who the hell uses military bases? That thing is shit. Anyways, let's go to circuit. This thing. I mean, the backpack looks cool, I guess, but other than that, it's pretty disappointing. If I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, the thing that I like about this is that I mean, besides that, you can actually die if you're not careful. Besides that fact, though, it's just I was expecting for this thing to be actually menacing. That's why it has less HP. Because sometimes below nerf some enemies, they're mostly their HP because of how difficult they are. Mostly their speed. You get the point. But if there one thing that I kind of like actually is when it dies, the all the enemies that's in its radius, they're able to be kind of resistant to stuns. So that's one nice detail right there. But other than that, this kind of goes to the okay, but at the same time disappointing tier. Doesn't really look that cool either, but whatever. Wait, actually, one more thing. This kind of reminds me of Bolt, Shock, Bolt or Shock from Molten or Fallen. Whatever. You probably get what I mean. Now, Rusher. I actually like the designs of this thing. It would have been nice if the shield was actually like resistant. Because like, what was the point of him holding the shield if he'll get defeated so easily by it? You know what? Am I gonna complain though? The design. I mean, I used to kind of like the old design, but I like the design, or this current design, a lot more better. Like, just look at the details of this thing. The shield, the hand that's been it's been nuclearified or toxified or whatever that's called. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a soldier. One more. I had a suggestion idea for this thing. What if this thing was able to stun with the button? Because why not though? So yeah, I do like this thing, but it's kind of disappointing because it's not that fast. I mean, the track, there's literally like three loops. Like, why not just make it fast though? The speed literally says extremely swift, but like, it's like a glitch is way more faster than this thing. But I'm not gonna complain though because this thing has a lot of HP though. So yeah. Now, Abomination. The first thing I saw this thing, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what is this thing?" I mean, the name. I mean, it just really fits though. It's literally called Abomination, and it actually fits. This thing looks terrifying as hell. but yeah, it's creepy. It's actually menacing. So, before I do die to this thing, although I don't really die to this thing anymore because of how careful I actually am. It's still menacing though. And the rage mode though, which is called two brains and two hearts, yeah, this thing just becomes even more terrifying. It's now a reanimated. So yeah. Now, mystery boss. Oh wait, I forgot the mystery ones, but whatever. I mean, they do have a change, the mystery ones, but stat wise, like HP didn't really change. Same goes to mystery bosses. They only have 150 HP. Would have been better if they had like 200 HP since this is nuclear or something like that. So yeah, and it would have been better if they had like a nuclear look to them. So yeah. I mean, the only reason why this thing is menacing because even though this thing has 150 HP, it's able to spawn as another mini boss, or I'll just call him boss. So yeah, so this thing is basically menacing. Slime or goo. I mean, I'm not even gonna call this menacing. It's just annoying if I'm gonna be honest. The speed is slow, and this thing is able to stun. But just like Split and Splitter, it's now goo. This thing is still able to stun, so yeah. Not that menacing. Warden, it's just purely disappointing if I'm gonna be really honest with you. Why, you may ask? I mean, if I'm going to be really honest with you, I mean, yeah, the speed is kind of fast, yada yada yada, but it doesn't stun abuse like Pengu, where it opposes. Even though it didn't really enter the base, it was an actual threat because of the amount of stun abuse. So yeah, I mean, at the time, if you reach like wave 35, you have a lot of good towers though. So design wise though, looks I'm pretty I'm pretty neutral with this. I mean, kind of not like, but at the same time, I kind of like it. I'm pretty neutral with the design. So yeah. Now for this thing, is it Necromancer Boss? Yeah, I think it's Necromancer Boss. I mean, it looks cool, I guess. If I'm gonna be honest with you. By the way, the first thing I saw this thing, I thought this was the nose, but that's not the nose. By the way, yeah, that's not a nose. I mean, looks cool, I guess. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, the spawns are just pretty disappointing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have 2,500 HP. Am I correct? Or 2,000? It's around 2,000 HP. But other than that, it's not really that menacing. I mean, yeah, if it got speed up by a circle, it becomes a running meat shield. I'm not even gonna say walking meat shield because of its speed. Cursed skeletons. I mean, I would put them in the blunt tier, and I'm putting them low because as a late game enemy, they're supposed to have a higher HP. I mean, yeah, they do have more HP than a mystery boss, but still. I mean, I'm gonna put this into blunt, but if it isn't just because of the color changes, yeah, it looks kind of nice because you can see there's actual color changes to it. So yeah, it's not just a recolor. There's some color change. There's some changes to it. So yeah, super toxic. Not really fan of its design. And as much as I would love to admit that I actually hate this thing, I actually hate it. I don't know what's the thing on its back though. I have no idea what that is, or this one I guess as well. Still have no idea what that is to this day. Menacing. It's like imagine if the small version. I mean, if it's not able to heal that fast, then imagine this thing. The name sounds funny. It's called super toxic. Would be better if it's called acidic or something. But yeah, it's just a pain in the actual ass, especially if a boss just walks through this thing on its acid. Then yeah, it's just going full HP. Nuclear Guardian, even though it doesn't really go to your base, I mean, who the hell dies to this thing? If I'm gonna be honest, it's still an actual threat. If you're wondering why, uh, what's his name again? If you're going to wonder why Nuclear Monster hasn't gotten a single damage yet, it's because of this thing. This thing is like a walking meat shield, and then yeah, it will just walk, I guess. Even though it isn't really that fast, God, like the speed of this. I mean the HP of this thing, 80k. That's like 200. That's like 20k more HP than you know than your that's literally like 100k HP. And then the defense of this thing is it 20? Is it 40 or I forgot honestly. I mean, it looks cool. If I'm gonna be honest, it kind of reminds me of Doctor Plague, and it kind of makes sense because it kind of looks like Doctor Plague, and then there's like a mutation that's going around. So yeah, kind of like the design. Also like the non-balanced design here. That looks kind of nice if I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, that's it I guess. Nuclear monster. I think I don't even need to explain why this thing is literally menacing. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much my opinions about this thing. I guess I'm gonna be going back. Hold on. All right. So for this one, I forgot to mention that it would be nice if it died. It was able to give hidden detection to other enemies as well. So yeah, that's pretty much like my only suggestion for it. For Necromancer, not really that much bones. I mean, if it took damage, it's like if you remember the old bones from the Solar Eclipse event, you can like, pretty much see that it's that like there's cracks, I guess, and I'm just calling it cracks. Not really veins, I guess, but yeah, it would be nice if the more they took damage, it's like the cracks are more visible. Toxic, I guess, have a little bit of a design change. Amalgamation, I don't know. Uh, what else? Shadow Boss, as I said earlier, would be nice if it's able to give ghost to other towers. This thing just make it a bit faster or something. Because yeah, it would have been better if it was faster, or even just a bit faster. Because you would expect for this thing to be fast. Make it fast as well, even if it uses its ability, or just make it like the old circuit. This thing, I don't know, just make it a bit faster as well, and just make it stunt towers. So not only are they a walking meat shield or bag of money, but they're an actual threat as well. Nothing here. Here, just give them. Oh yeah, the mystery. Why do I keep forgetting the mystery? The mystery boss in the mystery. Just give them a kind of like nuclear look or acidic look to them. So yeah, nothing much. Maybe here just the speed change. Warden, make it stun abuse to be an actual threat. Make it like an abusing, or like make it as a stun abusing, fallen guardian, or make it like a stun abusing pengu. So yeah. Besides, the track is very long and this thing is kind of slow. But yeah, this thing make it spawn mystery bosses as well, so it will be an actual threat. Or why not make it like the lunar and uh solar dust thing? Okay, I'm gonna explain. So there's an enemy in the solar eclipse. When it dies, it spawns as another enemy, and when it dies, it spawns as another enemy again. So that would be kind of nice if it was able to actually do that. So yeah. Now for uh, I don't know, probably buff its HP or something, or make it like the lunar thing that I just mentioned earlier. Here, I don't know, just change the cosmetics, I guess. Nuclear Garden, it's fine. You don't need to buff this thing because it's really difficult. And this thing, I don't know, bro. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of the video. Please like and subscribe. Sorry if I haven't uploaded in long because I have no idea what to upload. But yeah, have a great day, all.